Eskimo Brothers Reviews, Episode 1. Today's subject is Superman the Movie, 1978. Starring Christopher Reeve, even though he's billed third, behind Marlon Brando and Gene Hackman. Superman doesn't get top billing in his own movie. So this was Soy Boy here's first time seeing it.
It's me.
What did you think?
I really enjoyed it. I thought that overall, personally, I'm not a big Superman fan. Batman is far superior, as we all know. But this was a really good movie, especially for the time. You could tell they put a lot of effort into it. It was definitely like a high grossing film. Definitely put a lot of money into it. You could tell by the special effects for that era.
Yeah, the production.
Yeah, the production value is through the roof. It was really fun to watch.
It was really like the first serious take on a superhero in a movie that I'm aware of. Like, they had the Batman movie in like '66 with Adam West, but that was just as insane as the TV show.
Yeah, it was pretty goofy, pretty wild. I really enjoyed it. Like, I didn't really know what to expect in the beginning, but Shadow Man here is a big Superman fan, so I think
superhero.
He's been trying to get me to watch the films forever now, and I've continued to say no, but I'm kind of glad I did. I liked it.
You gotta show him, yeah.
So like the first thing I noticed with it was, but this was only like in the beginning too, so it was kind of strange. They did a lot with like close-ups, and you see that a lot often in like the older films like Planet of the Apes or the Star Trek series, the original series, those episodes, and they use that.
Hide how fake the backgrounds look.
Yeah, it was nice because a lot of it was also, they did a lot with shadows, so there was like a lot of black and white, and those close-ups really showed the emotion that they were trying to convey, at least in the beginning scenes.
It's a movie that takes its time. Like, I don't think you see Christopher Reeve till like 45, 50 minutes in. It takes its time.
Yeah.
Like with the introduction and the origin story.
Yeah, it was like a little confusing for the first like 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so. I mean, I kind of understood what was going on, but then afterwards it's like, alright, it's really starting to make sense now. It's really starting to add up. I did really like the special effects too. They were kind of similar to the original Star Wars series special effects, where like they did make a lot of like small models, especially in the beginning, the first few scenes. Looked like it was a nicely detailed model. Special effects were pretty good. There was one that I thought was kind of silly, where Superman as a teenager is running with the train.
Yeah.
And it's not even real running. It doesn't look like he's you could definitely tell he's just like flailing, like suspended in air, and he's moving much faster than his long legs are going, and it's so it was pretty ridiculous, but I'm sure for the late 70s it was pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, this is probably like the only thing that would even have been close to this kind of quality and special effects would have been Star Wars.
Yeah, they're pretty similar, and I like that. So when I first saw like baby Superman, I'm like, I'm not impressed. Like, he doesn't look like he's gonna be any superhero. And then I saw toddler Superman, and I'm like, I'm really not impressed now. Like, that kid. But the one weird thing that I did notice was the baby Superman and toddler Superman and teen Superman all had like a wide nose, like a wide nose at the bottom, and then Christopher Reeve has the thinnest nose for a human being possible. So it was pretty continuous up until he became like actual Superman. I did really like how it was like you said, it was a pretty serious film, but there was just comedy sprinkled throughout.
Right.
And it wasn't like build towards children. It was like an adult. It was an adult film.
Yeah, it would have been like for the family. Like it's good for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably was what they were aiming for.
I think they did a good job with that too, because there was.
I had heard that Richard Donner, the director, when he got hired, it was gonna be like a goofy kind of movie, and he said, "No, we're doing this serious, treating it with respect and all that." And it kind of became the blueprint for like a superhero origin story.
Yeah, I did like how serious it was actually, and I mean there were a few. It wasn't anything like sexually explicit, but it was kind of leaning towards it. Like you knew what may happen, but it was definitely. Yeah, it's definitely good for pretty much the whole family, I would say.
Yeah, so Superman is my favorite superhero. This is my favorite superhero movie. This is the first Superman film. I love it.
I mean, I like some of the newer Spider-Mans with Andrew Garfield, the real Spider-Man. Not that Tobey Maguire guy.
I'm sure we'll elaborate on that in a future video.
No, we won't. I did like how a lot of it was how there was just two completely separate things. So like I talked about like the shadows in the beginning, like the light and the dark, and the outfits on Krypton. Super bright outfits, but it was filmed in the dark.
Yeah.
So they're super shiny.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
And how like Lex Luthor and Superman or Clark Kent are they're pretty much completely opposites. Like Clark Kent growing up in like a small town, doesn't really have like a formal education. He's pretty humble. He gets picked on in the movie. He's kind of like the beta cuck. And then Lex Luthor, he's wealthy, he's super educated, he's way too confident, he's overconfident, and he's pretty bold, and so yeah, those two are just completely opposite things. So you can tell easily, even like for the kids that watch it, you can tell who's good, who's bad. Just it's pretty simple.
That's why I like Superman so much. His villains, you gotta be something really special to be a threat to Superman. Whereas any old asshole with a knife could be Batman's enemy.
That is also true.
Any old asshole that tells jokes.
I did find it odd how there was like one product placement in there that I saw was the Cheerios.
Yeah.
And
Did you notice when she first sets it down there, it's like perfectly there for the camera, and then when it shows the outside angle, it's also the front of the box?
It's also, yeah, it's...
They turned it around for the shot.
Yeah, I noticed that, so I thought that was way too obvious, but hey,
I think the only other major product placement I noticed was when they're looking at the footage from when Superman first reveals himself to the world. They're looking at a TV shop with the big JVC logo.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Yeah, they really made Superman a very likable character too, just because of the other stuff I mentioned before, like the humbleness, and how even though he's some alien, even though he looks exactly like a human being, he's some sort of alien.
And if you watch the movie backwards, it's about a guy who puts people in danger and then goes into hiding.
Oh, well, hey, do what you gotta do. But I did like how they kind of humanized him, and that like he had to make decisions, especially towards the end of the movie. Like, hey, are you gonna save this or are you gonna save that? And you can tell he's really trying to figure out what's my best decision here. What am I supposed to do? So yeah, that was a good part. That was a good part for the character.
You hear the echoes of both of his fathers talking.
Yeah, at the same time, yeah, he's trying to figure out what should I do now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he saved Lois 3 times now. This is the first movie. I mean, 2 of the times, I mean, they were like freak accidents, or one was an accident, one was, on purpose, and then like the one in the middle is he's just flying with her and just, oh, let's go. So he's like, oh, I'm gonna save you now. So now he.
It really was kind of a dick move.
That was a dick move. So yeah, he saved her 3 times. This is only the first movie, and there's at least 4 here, maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah, so we watched this. I don't know if you can see it. It's a 4-pack, like in one set. These little cheap sets you can find of a lot of movies. I got the Batman movies like this from the 90s. And they're usually pretty cheap. They don't have any extra menus in the DVDs or anything like that. But I bought the first 4 Superman movies for $4. Even if you like one of the movies, that's worth it.
Yeah, that's definitely a good deal. I think like the last thing that I was really gonna bring up about it was that besides the first time when he saves Lois, he just kind of walks out of the building, sees what's going on. He's like, oh, I should do something about this. I feel like almost every other time when he's saving people, he just happens to be there. Like, does he know that someone's in danger? Does he have like his own like mental bat signal in his head, or is he just like, oh, here's this train about to derail, let me take care of that. Oh, there's a car, let me fix that here. There's kids on a bus about to go off a bridge, here's that. Like, how does he know all this is going around? Is he just, I know he's fast, but...
Super hearing.
Well, I don't know what kind of superpowers he has.
All of them.
Alright, well that makes sense, but I just don't know. He just seemed to just always find people in danger and save them.
Well, they're not going to show people dying and him not making it there. Or...
Well, kind of make it at least a little bit realistic. That's going to happen, I'm pretty sure.
You're asking way too much of the 1970s.
But, yeah, so overall, for my first time seeing it, I really liked it. I didn't really know how to feel. He did show me a trailer, and I'm like, oh, that's definitely, it looks better than I thought it would look for the time. But yeah, I just like the duality of the good and the bad, and the 2 completely different sides. And I liked, the editing was great, the production was great, special effects were great. Yeah, it was actually it was a pretty good film to me.
Yeah, so we're gonna... Each one of these episodes is gonna be us reviewing either a movie or an episode of a TV series or like a documentary or anything like that. Like, we're not gonna limit ourselves too much to what we can review.
Yeah.
In this.
Yeah. In addition to that, I very well may throw out some stories that Shadowman and I have come across throughout the years.
Oh God.
Involving the 2 of us. We will, we'll change the names of things so nobody gets in trouble or gets offended or anything like that. But yeah, I feel like our fans, especially with our sense of humor, might like some of my personal failures in life. I like to hear that. And just some silly stories between the 2 of us and some people we might know.
Yeah, we used to work together at a fast food place, so
yeah,
there's stories galore.
Oh yeah. On that note, I have nothing else to add. I don't know if you'd like to throw anything else in before we wrap it up here.
I don't want to do the same thing that every fucking YouTuber does, where they say, hey, like and subscribe and comment.
Right here. Subscribe right here.
Click the bell.
Yeah.
That will help. So we're gonna say that once, and then you can figure that shit out.
Yeah.
Apparently there will be a link below to my Twitch page. I play a lot of retro games on there. If you're interested in that, you can come talk shit or talk movies or talk video games with me on there.
That's true.
Alright, and at the end of these episodes, we're going to announce what the next movie will be, or what the next episode will be on. And I am choosing this. Superman in the movie was my choice, and this next one's also my choice. We're gonna do Superman 2. Now, these two movies kind of go together. That's why I picked that. I'm not gonna like my next pick isn't gonna be Superman 3, or there's actually two versions of Superman 2. There's a theatrical cut and then the Richard Donner cut, which are about, I don't know, 50% different. It's been a while since I've watched either of them actually, but so that'll be two different episodes. So I'm not gonna do Superman 3 or the Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 as my next pick. I'm not gonna pick one series and stick with that. Just is what I'm trying to explain, long-windedly.
All right, yeah. On that note, this again is Shadowman0050.
Word.
Soy Boy Beta Cuck 69, the one and only. We're signing out. Thank you.
Eskimo Brothers out.